This is Matt for Into Boxing. Delighted to be joined by another amateur here at the One Nation Boxing Gym. We're here with Marko Matlik. Marko. Yeah, no problem. It's good to get some of your guys' time today. Obviously, we're big on supporting the grassroots of boxing, and this is where it starts, in the gym. And this gym's got a lot of good fighters in it, a lot of amateurs. Obviously, we talked about we know the ones who've turned over. So talk to us a bit about yourself, how long you've been boxing.
Well, I've been boxing since about last August, so you could say that's a year and a half, year and a bit, yeah, coming up to 2 years now anyway.
What made you get into boxing? So obviously it's a brutal sport, and if you're taking it seriously and you wanted to turn over pro, it's something you've got to dedicate your life to.
Definitely. Well, how I started was a close member of my family, he used to box, and he kind of, it was just one day like, yeah, you know, I found a gym for us, let's go try it out. Do you know what I mean? At first I was like very nervous, because boxing, when you've never done boxing before, you think, it never works like that, because they never put you in sparring at first, right? Because that's not really how they do it.
Not fair either.
No, of course not. But that's what the first thing in my head popped into. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna get beat up. I'm gonna get hit in the face. First session there, but no, that never happened. And I remember the first session very well, because I came out of that dying, like absolutely blowing.
Your ass kicked.
Yeah, basically got kicked by my shit cardio. But no, and then it just popped off after that. Just started bit by bit, because that's what boxing is. It's a slow process, you know.
Yeah.
If you want to take it seriously and actually learn it, you know, it's a very slow process, step by step. Sometimes you have to go back 2 steps to progress like 3, you know, into 3 more, because you know you learn one thing and then you have to go back to the other, because you know there's so much you need to learn. It's just,
well, you're in the right gym. You've got a lot of good trainers here. Obviously Clifton's here as well, Clifton Mitchell. Yeah. Is that the dream for you then, to get a load of amateur fights in, get that season under your belt, and then look to turn over when you feel the time's right? Because obviously that's what everyone here sort of seems to be striving for.
Do you know what? Definitely, it's at first I feel like right now, maybe a few months ago, that's where I've started boxing. Before that, it was just kind of the fundamentals and everything. Now is where it's really starting to pop off. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You really started to understand what boxing really is. Yeah. Because before that, you just kind of, you're seeing if it's even for you, because it is a very brutal and lonely sport.
It's humbling, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It disciplines you a lot, and it teaches you so much. It's crazy. And but yeah, definitely, because you know you got Clifton, you got Mikey, and especially we do Tuesdays and Thursdays. We train with the pros as well. Like if Cliff feels like you're ready, you can come train with the pros. And just training with the pros and seeing that in the future you could be in their position, it motivates you like crazy. Do you know what I mean? It makes you push yourself to your limits.
So when you're seeing the likes of them doing their work, does that give you that sort of vision of where you want to go, and you sort of model yourself off, right, well, they got there by doing this, they got there by going down the amateur route? It's a long old slog, so like if you want to do it, you've got to commit now all these years. You've got to reject going out to parties. Definitely. You've got to stop drinking, stop eating shite, because let me tell you, that's a really hard thing to do, especially when you're young.
No, definitely. I mean, I don't drink or anything like that anyway, you know what I mean? I'm 17 and
you don't,
No, I don't drink or anything like. I don't really party. I'm not really into that, you know, because
I forget then. It's normally, I'm talking to, obviously a lot of them who are 18s, sorry, because you're 17. I almost forgot your age for a minute.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, it's, and you know, because you train with them, you obviously get to speak to them as well, and they tell you like, look, this is what you're doing, it's good, but you know, learn on this a bit, you know, like let's say like your jab's a bit needs to be sharper, or you know, turn your hips more, put more power into your shots. And Clifton as well, always telling you like Cliff's one of them where it's
I can imagine he's very honest with you, because I've spent a lot of time with him past day.
No, he's a very honest. He's not, as he says himself, he's not a coach. He's a teacher. He's a boxing teacher, right? And he's he will do that one thing with you until it's perfect. And only then, when he feels like, okay, I'm satisfied with what you're doing, you move on to the next thing. Do you know what I mean? And that's really good because, you know, boxing is about repetition. It's
Like
about
muscle memory and all that.
Everything. But yeah, and just in general, the whole team, it's really important what environment you're in as well. Do you know what I mean? Inside the gym, especially outside the gym. The amount of boxers that like just they train hard, but they fall off because of the stuff they do outside. Do you know what I mean?
It'd be an interesting journey then for you. So who do you? Is there any particular boxer you like to watch now? Who are the current champions or the current fighters in the game now who you enjoy watching? Obviously, I know you're from this gym, so I can think of probably 3 off the top of my head who you watch. But is there anyone outside this gym who you watch or enjoy watching?
Not anyone, just that one in particular. There's
Name a couple then.
Name a couple, right? So I really enjoy from. You know, fighters now.
Can be here if you want.
Yeah, I really like Lomachenko. You know, some of the Terence Crawford. Tank Davis.
Yeah, I love watching Tank.
You know. Shakur Stevenson. You know what I mean? Just.
Second time someone's mentioned him tonight.
Yeah. No, it's. There's a lot, you know. There's a lot.
Yeah, boxing's becoming obviously it's mainstream sport in the UK, and obviously everyone's aware of all the fighters. But yeah, look, it's one of them where it's good to see how you guys start in here and see where your journey goes. So we're looking forward to catching up with you again sometime further down the line. Finally, last question. Have you got sort of an idea of if you turn pro, where you'd love to fight? Do you look at these arenas on TV and see the MGM in Vegas? You see Madison Square Garden, or do you see like someone's mentioned Pride Park? Or have you say something? You know what? When I go to bed at night, that's where at least one day I have to say I've fought at.
Well, you know what? Every single day before I go to sleep, and then when I wake up as well, I always tell myself like, look, today's going to be a good day. I'm going to push myself harder than I did yesterday. And yeah, definitely. You need to think big, you know. Set yourself big goals, but obviously, and chase them, because it's not going to be a straight road. You know what I mean? It's going to be a very wonky journey. You know, there's going to be ups and downs, but you know, it's just been proven before that no matter what, you can reach anything you really put your mind to. That's why you need to set your goals big.
So what arena?
What arena? Right.
Pick one.
The Wembley. You know.
Wembley. Yeah, I'm gonna say Tyson Fury versus Dillian White coming up soon.
Oh yeah.
Who would you fancy in that?
I'm thinking Fury. I don't really see what White could give Tyson. Do you know what I mean? But you can't leave Dillian White out of this one. He's still a top heavyweight.
It is. I think people forget that just because Tyson's won, Dillian's still a live dog in this fight, and it should be a terrific fight.
Oh, it's going to be a madness one.
But look, KO.
Yeah.
You can have that one for free.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for talking to Into Boxing. Yeah, fingers crossed we catch up again, bud.
Yeah, thank you. It was nice speaking to you. Cheers.